Shameless shopper Alicia Dougherty puts the cart before the horse in her very own pay-to-play blindside story. Meanwhile, Alex gets a better lesson on what it really means to be Big Red the TikTok lolcow. Hey y'all, I'm back, and just like Lushy's dissociative stare, I have gazed into the abyss, and yet I remain. Back in early April, when Lushy's grocery haul totals took a little dippy dip, I questioned if she would go back to leaning into content focused on the kids to make up the difference. A couple of months later, that does seem to be the case. Lushy seems to have fully accepted, embraced, and even encouraged Alex's evolution into Big Red the TikTok lolcow. Back at the end of May, Alex Dougherty ran his comically oversized princess pickup into a ditch while attending a staple of young adult small-town life, the field party. Naturally, fellow partygoers rushed in to his aid to make sure he was safe. Nah, just kidding, they stood around laughing and recording like a bunch of hyenas jockeying for zebra scraps.
Big Red, no, man! No! Big
So we've got one person who seems to be maybe checking on him, and the rest are, well...
Big Red goes off-roading! Big Red goes off-roading! Eat that shit up, bro. We got butterfly doors. Alex, he's got butterfly doors. You can't park there, bro. You can't park there, bro.
Physical damage seems to have at least been minimal, unless of course you're the truck, I guess, and the overall scene, from what I can gather, was a pretty normal young adult drive bad situation type deal. The footage really does lay bare, though, the unfortunate situation this young man has found himself in. Lushy and Dad Creeperty took a decidedly whatever approach as expected, and now Lush is focusing her energy on Dayshawn in what seems to be an attempt to write her own blindside tale, but with mini muffins. Dayshawn has been signed to an agency to help him go pro in football despite having just completed his sophomore year. Now, there's no guarantee this kid will shine in college ball even if he does do well in high school. There's plenty of time yet for an injury or other things to get in the way. And it seems like college prep and coaching would be a much more useful tool right now. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Additionally, this agency seems to be about as above board as the fish stew of a management company that runs Lushy's weird low-effort double dip and second channel with the sleep paralysis demon AI thumbnails and food schlock vlogger titles. Lushy naturally found the time to film an entire day with Dayshawn and his exploits with this agency, and the whole thing has the vibe of those modeling companies that used to go around malls signing up any teenage girl whose folks were willing to cut a check. The majority of episode 1 of Dayshawn's dream life is Lushy explaining this sketchy agency and Dayshawn interviewing some folks at a car dealership in what really amounts to advertising for the car dealership. But I think it's worth taking a look at this little clip.
Get creative and get some action shots. You ever see like certain ads where it's like pretty quick and fast, or keys in addition, the gear changer.
So they're definitely using him for an ad. This seems to all have been initially presented as an opportunity for him to learn some public speaking skills, interview skills, that sort of thing, see what it's like to get brand deals, but they're clearly just using this kid for ads. I wonder who got paid for that. Did Lushy get paid? Did Dayshawn get paid? Who can say? Well, we know the agency got paid.
Door posts and all, stuff like that. I want to get those little pieces so I can put it all together. And at the end, give the script. What is he doing here?
$1,000 towards.
So that's the staple for
training. Yeah, $1,000. Okay. Now, are we gonna? If he's gonna be actually driving?
Driving.
This kid is 15. He has no license.
Now, is he getting out?
And that's where I'm going with now. I'm just going to load some stuff on the fly.
You're just gonna move the car about 10 feet.
Yeah.
You're not.
Because at the end of the video, you can have it right up here facing this way.
We were like this.
So I say, you better know how to drive.
Now, I don't know if this area he's going to drive in is closed off, but it does appear to be the middle of the business day, and I don't see any cones or ropes or anything that would contain this from somebody just browsing the dealership. I don't know. I got a lot of questions here. So they're coaching him on what to say for the ad. Now, I will say, normally I do like to blur the kids' faces, especially the younger kids. But at this point, I think with this one, considering the situation, that's pretty much a lost cause on my point. The damage is so done, and there's so little effort to protect this kid's privacy on any level. I don't really see the point anymore. This is going to be not only on the internet for millions of followers, but it looks like it's probably going to make it onto local TV or some such as well. Lost cause. That's all I got.
Is this great content? Is this great content? Is this great content? Is this great content?
Oh, yeah.
Now, there is no one, it appears, in the vehicle with him. He is alone in the car. Now, if he had a permit and there was a licensed driver in there, that might be fine. I'm not super duper familiar with all of the ins and outs of a New York State driving law, but to me, this seems sketchy as hell. I certainly would not put my unlicensed or just maybe permit holding 15-year-old alone behind the wheel of that vehicle by any means. But yeah, carry on, Cortez Auto Dealership. I guess y'all know what you're doing, right?
Round up.
You're certainly not in bed with a sketchy management agency taking advantage of teenagers, so I trust you, I guess.
I already know what some of you are going to say. I can't believe you're letting him drive.
Why?
That's illegal. He was driving 10 feet in a parking lot for a commercial, fully supervised by multiple adults. He was okay. It's going to be okay.
How was he fully supervised? He was alone in the car. You said he drove 10 feet in a parking lot. You didn't say it wasn't illegal there. You didn't say it was legal. You didn't say, oh, he has a permit and this is actually legal for him to do. It was just, oh, he was supervised, which he wasn't. He was alone in the car. Standing around the vehicle is not supervising. What can anyone really do? Things can go wrong, as we've seen with your oldest in just a second. And he's a licensed driver. What do you think can go wrong with a kid who has no driving experience other than whatever his older siblings maybe let him do on the sly, which is, you know, clearly not who you want teaching him to drive. It's fine, though. Don't worry about it. Leslie said it's fine. And she was right there supervising several feet away with a camera in her hand. So if anything went wrong, you know, she would have got that. Nothing could really happen, right?
When you stop, your stop point will be like right here from this car.
An inexperienced, unlicensed 15-year-old driver is definitely someone who can make a great judgment about how and when to stop at a vehicle at a precise point. Definitely. Nothing to worry about here at all. Y'all stand right in front of it. It's fine. Thank God it was fine, but good grief. How wrong that could have gone. How incredibly wrong. Alone in the car. Supervised, though. He's supervised. Supervised by who? Laugh it up. All right, that's enough of that. Based on the content of episode 1 we just saw, it's hard to avoid the impression that the Doughertys are paying this agency so they can farm out a kid for promotion and ads for local businesses. Knowing how Lushy craves those brand deals, it's no shocker she would think this was a shrewd move for an aspiring athlete. Personally, like I said, I'd go for coaching and college prep, but again, that's just my opinion, I guess. I don't know, whatever. This agency is also faith-based, apparently, which explains Lush's recent interest in church, if you were wondering where that came from. Now, I'm not interested in starting a religious discussion here at the dinner table, but I am interested in the legality and liability of allowing a 15-year-old to operate a motor vehicle without proper supervision. Lushy excuses these glaringly obvious concerns with, as we saw, a bunch of excuses, none of which included the words, "It was legal, we checked." Also, don't know how you can call an unlicensed 15-year-old alone behind the wheel supervised, but here we are, neck deep in Lushy's special brand of child content rage bait. Lushy is already literally circling like a vulture in the background filming, and the title Dayshawn's Dream Life Episode 1 implies this is going to be a series, I guess, so buckle up for more awkward exploitation footage. I need my big crystal, y'all. Even with her busy new sports momager life, Lush found the time to serve up an upsettingly enormous supermarket donut spread. So if you've been struggling getting the proportions on your breakfast boards to go completely off the rails, just settle in here with me and let Lush show you how to load her up.
I have no vision of what we're going to put where, but we'll figure it out. We'll do something cute.
Sure we will. Now it is allegedly 5:40 a.m. according to the official Dougherty clock, but I'll let y'all debate what time you think it really is.
We've got trifecta of donut holes. Leftover. I don't remember what I used those for at this point.
You don't remember what you used them for, so those should be nice and fresh.
Probably a fruit board or something. Got these red, white,
Donut holes, staple of a classic fruit board. Okay.
and blue donuts from BJ.
We got some more patriotic pastries, y'all, of course. She can't resist.
Because I didn't think they would actually last all the way till Friday. And we got the apple fritters. And I've got grapes I gotta use up.
We got how many packs of donuts here and 2 pieces of fruit? It's all coming together. Get your proportions right, y'all. This is how you do it.
I made the Campbell's cordon bleu casserole on Wednesday night. Holy cow, I wish I would have recorded it. It was one of those days we had like a super long day and I just was not about to record anything. Highly recommend. I did substitute in a few things. So I mean, I guess it wasn't totally to recipe.
So really you have no idea what the actual recipe is supposed to come out like, but you made some slop and it was fine, so you recommend it. Yeah, okay, carry on. I'm so glad you didn't record that.
I did Mott's cheese instead of Swiss cheese because not all my kids like Swiss cheese, even though I think it's phenomenal. And I did chicken broth instead of white wine.
Of course, so 2 of the major components of cordon bleu we've taken out, but yeah, call it whatever you want. I don't care.
That was it.
It's still no Salisbury steak in the Philly cheesesteak, so I guess fine, whatever.
Not really, but a little bit. A little bit of modification. It was really good. We ate the whole thing. Lately.
So you had some chicken and cheese.
We have been eating the entire thing. I really like symmetry. Or balance, I guess. I guess that's not symmetry because that would be, yeah.
Whatever.
Balance. I like it balanced. Okay.
How about you balance the nutrition?
Grapes.
Nah, I'd rather do donuts instead. Oh, Lord. Oh, I can taste the dye from here, I swear. Like, through the screen, I can taste the food coloring in that icing. Here comes our single apple. And our single orange. I'm going to count those little baby donuts kind of 2 as 1 and call that 42 donuts.
It's National Donut Day. Thank you
Oh, Lord.
for spending time with us today. You are strong, you are beautiful, you are loved, you belong, and I'm so proud of you. I'll see you next time.
There we have it, folks. A grand total of 42 donuts and 36 donut holes, approximately, by my visual estimation. Now, donut hole to donut conversion is not an exact hard science by any means. There are a lot of variables to consider. But generally speaking, about 4 to 5 holes seems to equal 1 donut. If that's a good enough conversion rate for Munchkins and Timbits, it's good enough for me. So converting for donut holes, we're looking at approximately 51 donuts for a dozen people, not counting the pastries still in the background destined for staleness. Well, folks, it looks like Alicia Dougherty is back to doing what she does best, or worse, depending on your point of view: child exploitation, food waste, sugar pushing, and overconsumption. That's all I've got for this one. Like and subscribe if that's your thing, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
You watched it, didn't you?